Greetings, it is I, Titus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue our talk on Advanced Dungeons & Dragons AD&D. We're continuing with talking about combat. Now today, we're just going to talk about special defenses. Now there are two main types of special defenses, saving throws and magical resistance. Now there is another one, but it's optional. They give optional rules for using parrying rules, when parrying is using a weapon to block a weapon. I'm not going to dive into those because they're optional, but let us dive into saving throws. Saving throws is a roll you can do to save yourself from basically some kind of effect hitting your character, causing you harm and negative effects, and you roll it in order to save yourself from death and destruction. It is a d20 roll, and you're rolling equal to or higher to than a target number. These target numbers are based upon your class and your level and what kind of attack what kind of thing is affecting you. For example, one type of saving throw is versus spells. Another one's versus poison. So you're going to look at this chart, and it gives a list of all the different effects that you could possibly roll against. Those are these things that you're going to be making saves against, and then it's divided by each of the sort of class groups and sort of levels. At certain points in levels, they get higher. So eventually they do max out towards your higher levels. That they're the lowest number that you have to either meet or get higher than. Now there is circumstances where you might have more than one of these different types of things in one save. Like if it's a death poison effect, then it gives a priority about what type of save is priority down in the book. So it would tell you that, you know, this type of save is more of a higher priority than this type of save. So whichever one hits first is the one you're going to roll on first. And you're going to figure out, you know, from that, which save you're actually going to roll against. Now, you can voluntarily fail a save. If for whatever reason it actually is advantageous for you to fail that save, you might still want to fail it. Now, there is options that you can make an ability check in place of a save. What this would be is there's a circumstance where you would normally make a save against whatever's going on, but you can see from that circumstance that it would be acceptable to make some kind of save, like maybe a dex save, to dodge out of the way of something that normally you'd be making a different save for. That is, again, it's going to be discretion of your DM whether or not that applies at that point in time. Now, you can get modifiers to your saves. It can be from magic items, it can be from a situation, it can be from special rules. They do list some of these like rules and situations which will affect your ability scores, like some of the magic items. For example, ability scores, certain ones affect certain saves. Like a high dexterity affects certain saves. On the other hand, high wisdom affects other certain saves. They don't affect all the saves, so you'd have to look situational for these when you're rolling these saves if you have some kind of bonus to them. So let's talk about magical resistance. Magical resistance is a percentage chance you have for magic to fail to affect you. You don't roll it, whoever's using the magic on you rolls it. And they have to get higher than your percentage. So if you have like a 5% resistance, they have to roll percentile and get higher than 5%. So 6% would get it, 5% would fail it. And it's you ignore a spell or spell power type effect if they fail to overcome your magical resistance. Now this doesn't work against things like magical weapons or effects that are incidentally caused by magic. Like if a magic does something that causes a natural effect, the natural effect is still going to hit you. The magic itself isn't directly targeting you. Now this only applies, again, if you are in either you are the target of the effect or in an area that is being under the effect of the magical effect. So you would need to sort of be included in whatever's hitting. So if something's targeting multiple individuals and you're one of them, your magical resistance only applies to you. While on the other hand, if it's an area effect you're in the middle of, like a fireball, again, your magical resistance only applies to you. So that's where we break down some of these ways of targeting. As I said, for the individual target, you would be ignored, the spell would still go off. If you're within the area, you are personally ignored, the spell would go off. If you enter an area with sort of a passive spell effect, you just ignore it. It would keep going on around you. You wouldn't do anything. If it's a permanent spell effect, something like a wall of force, you would temporarily negate it if it would fail to overcome your magical resistance. But it wouldn't be gone, it would just return as soon as you would pass out of the area it was in. So effectively, like if you came across a wall of force and you touched it with your magical resistance and succeeded in overcoming it, you'd negate it temporarily, allow all your buddies to pass, and then you could move through it, and it would return. So that's the basics of magical resistance. I've talked about now saving throws and magical resistance, the special defenses that your character will have against the various things in the world which could affect you. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to say, anything you think I left out, please leave in the comments below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. It's a great way of showing your support for the channel and the Empire. Please subscribe. We're always looking for more members, more citizens. And please share this video if you know anybody that would really learn anything from it or would just enjoy watching it. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.